This episode of Tekzilla is brought to you by Sharefile by Citrix.
We may live on digital cameras and camera phones, but we still do a lot of photo printing in my house, school projects, photo collages. The simple fact that it is so much easier to stick 4x6 prints on the fridge than it is to hang an LCD screen off of it, and much less likely for my 2-year-old to rip it down and bounce it on the floor over and over again. And this is my beloved Epson 835 all-in-one, and boy are the ink cartridges, here they are.
It's beautiful.
These things are just, look, they sell you
Can we
a
say
printer.
crazy expensive?
Yes, we can say crazy expensive. And even coupons will not save you.
Nope.
So this is like the Epson 98 high-capacity 6-pack of black, cyan, light magenta, and yellow ink. Beautiful photo prints. But you're talking about like $100 for the full set.
Yep.
Or you can buy the 5 colors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 colors for $80. A single black cartridge is $20 to $25.
Oh my gosh.
So where did it go? Oh, here it is. For $15. Now let's see if we. There's somewhere between 5 and like 15 milliliters of ink in these, most likely.
Okay.
For $15, I can get this. The refill kit for the Gigablock continuous ink system, and I'm going to make sure I don't whip the caps off. So do you think there's more ink here, or in the $15 refill kit, or in the $100 cartridge?
You know, I'm going to bet you $5 that these have a little bit more than those.
Yeah, 100, probably somewhere close to 10 times as much. 120 millimeters, like 15 milliliters.
Wow.
So these are not for refilling the cartridges. They are for refilling the continuous ink system. And this is Gigablocks. It sells for like $60 on Amazon.com. And it's a little crazy, right? Because these are all tanks full of ink. And I guarantee you there's a lot more ink system in here than there are on the high capacity cartridges. These are model specific, so they basically, there's, what it comes down to is everything they can use an Epson 98 cartridge or set of cartridges can use this particular ink system. And it's a little crazy, right? Because I don't know if you can see, there's the rainbow tubes of Inky Joy.
So these are full of ink right now.
Those are full of ink right now.
So
Don't
if I
yank
just
on them.
happen to bite them.
Like a cat?
Like a cat.
Well, we'll talk about the cons in a second, but essentially all you have to do is pop the ink cartridge in there. And I don't want to pull it apart because it's working right now, and sometimes I just don't like to fix things that are working. But essentially, these cartridges run to these tubes, to these giant containers full of ink. Tanks of ink. So, and that's kind of like the one I was starting to say before, that's like the one kind of downside is you have to sort of route these cables somewhere, and you have to make sure these tanks don't tip over. So in my case, I actually notched out the lid here. It's what they recommend you do.
Oh.
And it's, when I get this back home, I will probably permanently mount it on a board, but that's pretty much all you do. And you want to make sure that your ink is at the same level as the printer. But you can see this, oh, I got a little air pocket in there. So if I turn this up, the air pocket's going to go the wrong way, which is really weird because air is supposed to rise in a tube. In any case, you know, once you have it set up and you make sure the inks, I basically did one test print and everything was golden at that point. I just realized what I did.
Wow.
Here, let me do it like that. There goes the ink there. A little bit of, there's an air bubble in there. This is exciting television, people watching an air bubble move through an ink tube.
I want to take a knife to it and just be like, yeah!
Don't do that. And it was kind of crazy. Can you tell the differences between, so I did a bunch of testing with the stuff we use most around our house, which is the photo paper from Epson and standard inkjet paper. And it's probably hard to tell as you're looking at home on a picture on a screen, but they are almost identical.
Yeah, I can't see a difference.
I think the photo paper with the Epson ink has slightly pinker skin tones on the baby.
Oh, hold on.
But for the rest of the colors, you know, I downloaded Digital Photography Review, has sort of a standard printer testing page they use. dpreview.com, it's a good website.
Oh, wow.
And it was almost impossible to tell the difference on the colors between these in the bulk and the standard ink. Supposedly they offer a similar level of UV protection.
I could see a bit of a difference on the black. One is blacker than the other.
Really?
Yeah, just a tiny difference.
Really?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's
that also might barely noticeable.
Well, you know what that was? Somebody actually rubbed their alcohol-covered finger on the corner of this photo.
Well, there we go.
But yeah, I mean, we wetted them. The ink is just as waterproof. The colors look almost identical. So, $100. 15 bucks, and the system itself is 60 bucks. So basically, like, you get this for 60 bucks to set it up, and then we need to refill it. You use the bulk inks to refill it. You know, there might be slightly less warm skin tones on this. I think those, we're joking about it before, but I think the most dangerous thing in a house with a 2-year-old, if your cat or toddler gets tangled up in the tubes, you're gonna have an epic mess unless you secure this thing. If you do not secure this thing, all hell is going to break loose. I'm gonna say it right like that. Because these are vents, and I'm not gonna tip it forward because I'm afraid, well, should I tip it forward and see if we make a giant mess?
Oh God, do it.
You would say that.
Oh,
and yeah, we're just gonna tip it right back there. Nope. Oh, there we go.
There it goes.
So keep this in a place where the small children and the pets can't get near it, or you're gonna have an epic mess. But in terms of printing costs, this is ridiculously cheap. And for me, it's much easier than going to a cartridge refill center. So
I agree.
I'll let you know in 6 months if the cat or the 2-year-old get a hold of this.
Okay, thank you very much. I will need to know. This is pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's probably 1/10 of the cost for ink.
And I
maybe even
just
less.
bought a new ink cartridge too. Ah, man.
Well,
Patrick,
sorry,
you need to tell me about these things.
I did. Apparently a week too late.
Most of us rely on email to communicate with our clients and coworkers, and we're frequently exchanging files like contracts, spreadsheets, and presentations. But if you're sending these important or confidential documents as regular email attachments, you need to know about a better way, like Sharefile by Citrix. Instead of attachments, Sharefile sends your documents as secure links. You can quickly send files of almost any size, control who has access and for how long, and receive email alerts when files are opened and reviewed. Plus, Sharefile is easy to use and will help you work more efficiently. You can keep everyone on the same page with shared folders that sync automatically and access files from anywhere using your computer or your mobile device. We rely on Sharefile like millions of other professionals. We use it to pass around video files and assets since we're not always in the office. So you can sign up today for our 30-day free trial, no obligation. Go to sharefile.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and enter Tekzilla. Remember, visit sharefile.com and type in Tekzilla.